Chapter 10. The Day the River Spoke. Reported speech. Etten went to school, where the teacher taught him to read and write. All the boys in their village went to school. Janu noticed, but not all the girls. "Mother, why can't I go to school like Etten?" Janu had asked. Janu called her brother Etten, because Etten means elder brother. But his real name was Gopi. Mother replied, "You are too small, baby. Maybe later." When she was 5, little Ramu was born, and mother said, "Maybe next year, Janu. Mind your little brother while I go to the fields now." Then little Ramu was 2, and then 3, and mother said, "Etten goes to school because he is a boy, and boys must learn early. Meena goes to school because she is the headman's daughter. You be just my little girl and help me to clean the rice and fetch the wood." She had always been happy sitting on her favorite rock by the river bank, but today was not one of those days. A big bright tear splashed down her nose, then another. "Dear, dear," said a sleepy, murmuring voice. "What's the matter?" Janu was startled because she was sure she had been quite alone. She looked around her. "You shouldn't cry, you know," the voice went on. "You really shouldn't be scared when you have been coming here to see me every day." Like the river. It couldn't be the river. "Well, tell me all about it," said the river, for it was the river. They won't let me go to school," said Janu. "I'm so old now. They'll never let me go. I want to learn to read like Etten and Meena." "Well, it's up to you," said the river. "Seems to me little girls can do as much as little boys. You just slip along one morning and sit there in the school and listen to what's going on. Maybe the teacher will let you stay." "I couldn't," gasped Janu. "I couldn't. They'd scare me. They'd chase me out." The river laughed. "You scared?" it said. "You are not scared of the green lizard or the snake in the bamboo clump or the big trains rattling past that bridge. Trains are noisy. I prefer ships," said the river. "What are ships?" asked Janu. "Big boats, bigger than catamarans," said the river. "So big that they can take hundreds of people, and they sail along the sea with lights that shine all night. Remember, it's up to you." She rubbed her eyes and sat up. It must have been a dream. She'd done it at last, but it hadn't been easy. The teacher was asking questions. When the questions were finished, the teacher said, "Now I have a surprise for you. Next week, we shall take the train and go to Kozhikode. And there we can see the big bazaars and the tile factory. I shall show you the sea and the lighthouse also." "What is a lighthouse?" asked Kuti. "It is a big building shaped like a pencil, a huge pencil, with a bright light at the top. The light shines very far, so that the ships at sea can see it clearly and sail safely." "Is a ship like a catamaran, sir?" asked Nanu, whose mother lived all by herself at the edge of the clearing by the forest. He walked 2 miles to school and back every day. "Now, who can answer Nanu's questions?" said the teacher. Janu forgot her fear and her shyness and said clearly, "It is much bigger than a catamaran. Big enough for hundreds of people to live inside and—" She stopped. All eyes were on her. Janu panicked. "Where did you spring from, little girl?" asked the teacher. "What is your name?" Janu's lower lip trembled. Janu, sir, Gopi's sister." "So you're Gopi's little sister," said the teacher, peering at her over his spectacles. "Now tell me, why didn't you come to school before?" By the time the teacher had heard from Janu all about how she couldn't go to school, it was afternoon. "If you really want to come to my school, Janu," the teacher had said, "we'll talk your father into it. Don't worry, we'll find a way." The next evening, Janu saw the teacher walking up the steps to their gate when she was lighting the lamp. After the teacher left, her mother said, "Little Janu, I shall miss you when you go to school. They say nowadays that girls should learn like boys. When I was your age, I wanted to go to school, but your grandmother said no. But now I am glad the teacher came to talk to your father and your father agreed." Janu cried, "Mother!" and went and threw her arms round her mother's neck and hugged her tight. "When I grow up," she said, "I'll be a teacher and I'll go from house to house in our village and ask all the little girls to come to my school. I'll teach them all I'm going to learn. You'll see." The next morning, with a hop, skip and jump, she went down the path between the fields and sat on her favorite rock. "I did it," she told the river. "I was scared, but I did it. They're letting me go. I'm going to learn to write my name and do sums. I will also find out why yellow spiders hide in yellow flowers and see the lighthouse. One day I'll see a ship," she added in excitement.